Hi, I'm Sean, and this is All About the Garden. What you see behind me, other than Ladybird, the golden retriever, is the beginning of our food forest, and we are so excited about it. So today, I'm gonna just kind of take us through what we've done so far, some of the things that we did ahead of time to get prepared to get us to this point. Um, and basically just kind of show you some tips and tricks, things that we're doing in case you want to try to duplicate something this on your own, and to show you day one, the very beginning of what will be a decades long journey of producing our own food, as much food as we can in our own backyard. And for those of you that aren't familiar with what a food forest is, it can mean a bunch of different things, but for us, it is a very densely packed, biodiverse area of perennial fruits and plants. So things like apples, oranges, peaches, pears, plums, persimmons, and then all kinds of medicinals, herbals, basically everything that berries, blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, everything that can grow in our area, that grows well in our area, as well as a few things that maybe we can kind of stretch the limits of and grow a few exotic things that may not necessarily grow here with some smart planning. And today's day one basically. We've done a bit of prep, but this is the beginning of a decades long journey of growing as much of our own food as we can in our own backyard. So let's go. You can probably see we've planted some plants. I'll take you on a close up of that a little later and show you what we put in. But we are finishing up the last bit. So we're just going to fill in this section and a little bit over here, and that'll finish up the area that we're covering now. Just to be clear, this has probably like 7-8 inches of mulch. It's settled down a little bit. We're not planting into mulch. All this is prepping. We're basically putting down cardboard to kill everything that's underneath, total blackout. And then we're putting mulch on top to keep it in place. And then when we plant something, we're actually removing all the mulch and we're putting a good, probably 3-4 feet of soil in every direction. And there's not much to say about what we're doing with the cardboard other than we're making sure that we really overlap it well. There's no light coming through. It's got a good amount of overlap between the boards, right? And we like to get our cardboard from the local furniture store because the boxes are huge and they have very little tape on them. Usually because they're coming straight from a furniture manufacturer to the store itself. So it just makes it a lot easier. And yeah, I got my helper out here today. Are you slacklining or helping me?
Help.
Whatever, bro.
I just took a break. I did this.
You take lots of breaks.
No.
You're doing great, buddy. You're doing a good job. I couldn't do without you. It's on film, too. You have evidence. I said that. All right.
What are you building back there?
Okay. Don't talk about the treehouse, okay? That's a top secret project.
All right.
It's been in that state for a while. That's why she's saying that. Don't listen to her. What's more important is what's going on here.
What's going on here?
We are packing the food forest with all kinds of incredible things. So we started with this huge pile of wood chips that got delivered by the tree company. In the process, there's a bunch of rough limbs and sticks and stuff that don't get churned up by the machine as they're cutting, which is fine because we take those leftover sticks and we turn them into biochar, which is basically partially burned wood, and this is basically home for like tons of microorganisms. So it's a way to just jumpstart the colonization of the soil, and it's also a decent source of potash. There's more potash in sticks and stems than there are in the main trunks. This is just from us burning fires throughout the winter, and it's a combination of mostly ash, which is rich in potassium, and also biochar, the stuff that doesn't get burned in our fireplace ends up as biochar. And then this is a mix of garden soil and mushroom compost. And we're taking all of it and mixing it together in a wheelbarrow and then building it up into the food forest.
So what do you have right here?
Well, this is what I'm doing here. I'm basically taking all those ingredients and mixing them in as I fill up the wheelbarrow, and then taking it to the food forest. Whoop, whoop.
All right, what you doing?
So our food forest is basically, we started with a base of cardboard because this was part of our yard. And then we put on an 8-inch layer or sometimes 10-inch layer of mulch. But it's important to know that we are not planting into that mulch. So we started this process, a couple months ago, maybe as long as 3 months ago. And we covered everything with mulch. But now that we're planting, we are going down to the cardboard layer pretty much here. And then we're filling the entire thing with that soil mix that we just showed you, that combination of compost and soil and ash and biochar. And that's what we're planting into. And then we're just covering it in about an inch. You can see it here, just about an inch of mulch. And all that's doing is providing a little soil protection and water retention, but it's not into the soil where it's actually going to do nitrogen robbing. That guy sprang up.
Yeah, we just watered it.
It got a little whippy and then sprang up as soon as we watered it in. That's great. So I'm going to take this huge wheelbarrow and dump it in. And then I'm going to spread it. And then I'm going to compact it a little bit so those roots have some good firm soil to get established into. I mean, I'm not seriously packing it. I'm just giving it a decent pack.
Why don't you come get a close-up of me putting my hand in here?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Sit right about here, right?
Yeah. Ha ha, you did it.
We need 7. So we're gonna. These two are the same. So I'm just gonna do the lower one.
Oh. And as close to the
This
tree as
one going
possible.
this way. This one going this way. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
So basically what are we doing right now? We're looking for balance, right? So what's your favorite one coming toward me? It's got to be that low one, right? So you can skip over. I like those two a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
Do you
your
like the
favorite they
next?
cross? You know,
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you like the next two?
trim
I-
this,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. I think I like the bottom 4, the first 4 coming up from the bottom. And then I really like this one.
okay.
And that would be 5. So yeah, take that little one out for sure. Take the next one up. No, wait. That comes toward me. That's good. I'd cut out the next one up. Because that's right over. I'm just going up from the bottom. I think this one goes. And this one goes for sure. Right? If you take those two out, because it's kind of on top of. Wait, go from the bottom, and then if you count to 6 and you like the spread, then you can just go shorter. You get what I mean?
I think there's 3, 1, 2, 3
Yeah,
in a row.
this one has to go next. And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7, 8.
I like.
10. We have
I think
3.
this one's got to go because it's just directly above that next one. One, two, three, 1,
What do
2,
you
3,
think about
4,
just
5, 6,
cutting-
7.
This like this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I'm okay with. I think yeah.
There, another thing. Okay.
Can you do it? Whoa, whoa, whoa! A little bit higher.
Like that.
You want me to do it?
I think.
You got it. All right. Remember, this is what? This is an apple tree. And so it's a bit different than what we were doing was a stone fruit, right? And so this one doesn't need to be blooming like the apple. That can come off for sure, no question about that guy. Go ahead and get as close to that trunk as you can on that bottom cut. Just making sure that we're getting super close to the trunk. And then we're looking for 6 to 7 great branches. And this is different. We don't want to top out the center. We want to choose a strong central branch, right? And
Like this
we
one's
definitely
a
have
very
one.
Central branch.
Lady's gonna help. Buddy. We definitely have one there. I like the lowest one because it comes directly toward me, but I could take it out. But then the next 4 are perfectly spaced. Or these
I like the spacing of everything.
1, 2, 3, 4 are really nicely spaced.
I
Don't count the trunk.
possibly these.
If the one in your left hand is the only one I'd want to take out. If I took one out, I'd take that left one out. No question. Okay. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I took any one out, it would be the bottommost one.
This one?
Yep. And then take a step back and look at the balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 balanced branches. Okay. And when we're done, we've basically got 7 nicely balanced branches where they're all
A lot
coming out.
easier.
in different
Yeah,
directions.
that's easy.
Okay. And then when we're done here, same thing. This is different, right? Because we've got this coming at an angle, and what I'm showing there is basically like the difference between a stone fruit. Notice that it's blooming, right?
Right.
And we're gonna cut that because it's gonna work up into like kind of a cup like
You can
this.
also show like
Whereas this
these are like stone fruit.
this has this main central branch, and that just goes straight up. So we don't want to top that out.
Over here. So show them like we're gonna leave.
And so this is another stone fruit, and we're
damage
not
yeah.
yeah, we're not cutting that yet. It's totally alive, but it's not, it hasn't bloomed at all.
This one has like
Versus this one, it does have some damage here, but no big deal.
you're gonna
Because
wait
it's
a little
very
longer.
obviously alive, so we're gonna give that just a bit more to bloom. What are you doing?
Well,
You're attempting the Three Sisters?
I am, but I didn't like research it.
Yes, you did.
Well, I did, but I didn't like get all the details, so
What-
I'm not sure if I'm doing this right.
Well,
so
what is the Three
I don't know if,
Sisters?
like the people in the interwebs are gonna be like,
You're doing it wrong.
Doing it wrong.
They will, doesn't matter.
okay, well, it is when you plant. It's like an ancient Indian way of growing like crops where they help each other. Like, so they would start off with a squash here in the middle, and then all around they would surround it with like a pole bean and corn. And so the corn would be the stock for the pole, like the pole for the pole bean. And the cool thing is that the beans, they drop the nitrogen that they're like taking
The beans are nitrogen fixing,
yeah. And then the
which is what the
squash-
corn wants, and the beans get to climb the corn.
And then the squash covers the ground to protect it from too much sun.
Keep the soil moist and
Cool.
protect everything.
But instead of squash, like, and I love squash, but I thought we'd use cantaloupe because
And we'll just have to keep winding it around because it's gonna want to wander.
yeah.
Huh.
But
I mean-
it's also like I don't know, it's just it grows really well here and our kids love to eat it. And I love squash, but this is also fun too. So I don't know. If you're not like experimenting in the garden, then you know. Its job in the trio is to put nitrogen back into the soil, and then this corn provides a pole for the pole bean, and then the squash in the middle, when it expands, it's gonna shade the garden, like it's gonna shade all the soil and keep the moisture in for these plants. And so everybody plays a role, and it's what the Native Americans did. So I'm just trying it out. I've tried it with different varieties. I've tried it with cantaloupe in some of these circles, squash in some. I've tried it with like pole beans, and I've tried planting them all at the same time, which is this right here. And then I have another experiment kind of over there where I've let the corn grow up more. I planted it first, and then the pole beans and the squash. So we'll see how everything works out. I mean, I think that's the fun thing about gardening is that nobody knows everything, and then once you do know everything, you're challenged by the weather. So I've planted some of them closer. I wasn't sure how this was all gonna work out, and then some of them a little bit more far apart. We've got peaches, my little baby peach. And, you know, some trees don't work out, and that's okay. That's okay. And some trees, like this one, got, you know, hurt by the frost. We had some kind of strange, challenging weather. This one, blueberries, cannot wait. Cannot wait. You know, last year I pampered my blueberry plant. I put all this wonderful like soil mix, mixed it up for half a day, planted everything. All the plants died. I don't know what happened. And then this time I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw them in the, I know that they grow in my area. I'm just going to throw them in the ground. Literally gangbusters. So I don't know. We got some grapevines here. Now here's real life. We have not had time to make a grape trellis. And so these are in pots, but they're still growing, and we'll make that trellis whenever we can get around to it. And look at these blackberries. They are almost the size of me. And last year we got just a handful. This year, look at this. I mean, it's just miles and miles of them. I'm so excited. And of course, here's my little extra garden right here that we planted a few years ago. And then here's my vegetable garden. Got some beans. So excited. And potatoes. They look really healthy. And more beans. We're literally just coming outside and eating beans for lunch every day right now. And this morning I planted more of the tomatoes. And I have so many to give away right now. I keep asking people if they want some tomatoes. Come by the house. Spinach and kale. And this is a fun system. I'm gonna keep working on it. You wrap the tomatoes around the pole thing. Anyways, alright, that's it. But what I really wanted to show you guys was the food forest. We're trying to plant things in here that will keep growing and that are sustainable. I want to be able to kind of walk through this area and just literally have it be like Garden of Eden, where I'm picking things and eating things that, you know, I'm not really having to maintain as much as this 10-bed garden system, which I love, but just that it's more wild and more natural. So that's the goal here. And in the beginning, we were just having a lot of annuals in the beginning to cover the ground, and we'll build up with more of the trees and the bushes and the small plants that can go, you know, that can come back year after year. So that's it. That's our food forest. Hope you enjoyed it. Boring.